Now, Bengaluru has been facing the wrath of rains over the past few days. The persistent downpour has not only thrown normal life out of gear, but has also exposed infrastructural loopholes, from potholes to waterlogged roads, from inundation in low-lying areas to public transport being affected. Several areas in Bengaluru are bearing the brunt of the rain fury. With severe rains last evening, the situation has turned from bad to worse. Several houses have been inundated, leaving many stranded. Times Now spoke to Karnataka Minister Krishnabai Gowda, who also inspected the affected areas. Here's what he said.
Flooded homes and streets have become a common sight in Bengaluru over the last few days because the rains have been coming down quite heavily. I'm right now at Badra layout. This is in fact the Balaji layout 4th main road where I'm standing at, and you can see even now, though the rains of course have stopped for the last couple of hours, there's at least 2 to 3 feet of water. And this entire street right now has been flooded. And overnight, while the rains of course were heavy, and especially this is the northern part of Bangalore which received a lot of rainfall. You can see at this point in time water that has gushed into their homes, vehicles at this point in time, many of them half submerged. I speak to some of the residents in this particular house. Sir, how bad was the situation when the rain came down heavily? Because this part of course received a lot of rain.
It was almost a feet of water inside the house.
Okay.
Four places, 4 rooms are there, kitchen as well as utility.
Okay, let's ask my video journalist to in fact go get a little insight so that we could show you some of these pictures. You can see even now the bikes that here are parked right in the portico are really half submerged. So what's the situation inside? What are the appliances that have been damaged, and does this happen often?
Fridge is almost 1 feet of water was there below the fridge, and wooden items are all submerged in this thing. Okay. So at the 3 o'clock in the morning it started coming inside water.
Does this happen often?
No, this is the first time. Earlier it had happened. It came up to this level. It didn't come inside the house. Okay. That's the thing.
Well, for people at this point in time, that's the surprise. While of course there is heavy rainfall, but declogging of the drains of course becomes quite important. Right now the water is stagnant, not moving anywhere. You can see right now there is no flow of water. There is nothing. That just symbolizes that the drainage system here of course needs fixing. While of course the MLA and the minister here has been doing the rounds trying to fix the issue as soon as possible. But for the people at this point in time, their suffering is quite a bit. Their losses are innumerable. We'll really have to see whether the BBMP will be able to fix these problems at the earliest.
This flooding is happening because of a cloud burst that happened near Vidyaranyapura and Yalanka area. Okay. So the cloud burst, generated enormous rainwater, and this lake, which is not filled up in the last 17 years, is now discharging after a period of 17 years. So we are watching for the water level to recede in the Dodbom-Chandra lake. In the meantime, we have installed pumps here with the help of fire and emergency, BBMP, and the pumps are pumping out water into the drains, and the drains are still able to carry the water.
Now, in another rain-related incident, a differently abled woman fell into a rainwater-filled pothole in the Vartur area of Bengaluru. The woman reportedly lost balance while riding a scooter, and after this, to avoid this pothole, she fell. This triggered a political war, with the Bharatiya Janata Party now slamming the Congress-led Karnataka government.
A shocking video has emerged where a physically challenged woman fell into a crater-sized pothole in Varthur. This is the reality of the Congress model in Karnataka. Congress model in Karnataka is loot, jhoot and scoot. One rain and the entire city is filled. One rain, the potholes are there. One rain, the civic infrastructure comes crumbling down because there's no money left to spend on this. Everything is going towards the crackpot guarantees of Rahul Gandhi, and scoot away from the responsibility.
Now, with schools and colleges reopening today, students had a tough time wading through waist-high water. Times Now spoke to a student who was on her way to her college to attend the exams.
Here in Bengaluru's Tata Nagar Circle, the situation has gotten very worse after the heavy rainfalls that came in last evening. You can see this entire area at this point in time flooded. But right now you can see the struggle for the people who are living in and around. Many of the people who are living in the ground floor have had to evacuate overnight. Some of them who had to stay back. Right now you can see them struggling and wading through, water that was almost near the hip level. As they, of course, approach the main road, the water levels have receded. Let me speak to them, find out how problematic it was. So from where are you coming? How bad is the situation there?
Sir, my house is here only. Okay. So first main road.
Okay.
So almost 3.5 feet water.
And you as well, are you going to work? Are you going to college?
College.
Okay, and there is water. You are on the ground floor there?
Yeah, no, we live in first floor, but full parking area is completely flooded.
Okay, how difficult was it for you to walk from there?
Very difficult, I'm
Today
fully.
is exam, internals is
You have an exam and
Yeah.
that's the reason you had to get out of the
Yes, yes.
Well, I wish you the best of luck for your exam. I'm really sorry for this situation. Let's hope it's fixed as soon as possible. Well, she has an exam today. She was forced to, of course, make her way out. Though there is so much of water, you can see another individual there. Up to the hip level, there is water. Of course, he's struggling to come out. And for some people, they have to get to work. Some of them have to get to college. Today, there has been no announcement as far as a holiday is concerned from the government in colleges or schools.
Now, heavy rains have left several stranded in the city. NDRF and fire emergency service personnel have been into service to help the affected civilians. Inflatable boats were in fact pressed into service to rescue the residents. Watch what happened.
It would be very difficult for one to imagine that this would be the site in the Silicon Valley or the Silicon City of India, Bengaluru. We are in Tata Nagar and multiple areas around this region, especially North Bengaluru, flooded. Right now you're looking at the fire officials who are using an inflatable boat going into the residential areas, helping people who want to come out. Many of them want to go to school, many of them want to go to their offices, but there is, because as you go deeper into this, there is water up to the hip level or even beyond. Multiple vehicles have been completely damaged. ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರಿದೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ? Can you tell us? I'll speak to the officer, sir. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರಿದೆ? ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೀರು?
ಸರ್ 8 ಅಡಿ 10 ಅಡಿ ನೀರಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಮೇಲೆ 8 ಅಡಿ 10 ಅಡಿ ನೀರು
8 feet ಇದೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈಸ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? The fire department officials are saying we are ready to give them any supplies. There's about 8 feet of water, at least in some of the areas that they just visited and came back. They're all taking refuge in the first floor. Some of them left their houses last night, went to their relatives' home as well.
BBMP Commissioner Tushar Girinath, who was inspecting affected areas across the city, was confronted by a group of angry residents, blaming the municipal corporation for inaction. Despite several requests over the past few days, residents made the commissioner walk on the waterlogged roads.
BBMP Chief Commissioner Mr. Tushar Girinath makes his way here near Tata Nagar. The residents here are confronting him. They're saying that, repeated cries for help overnight hasn't really helped. Let me try and get in a word. Well, they've in fact asked him to get down right now to come and take a look at how bad the situation is. Let me in fact try and get in a word. Sir, you've been going to multiple areas. How bad is the situation here, sir? Well, let me in fact...
AW Shivkumar, sir. Last week only we had given a with the clear footages. We had sent the video to the AW Shivkumar, sir. But proactively he has not taken any of the respective action. If he had taken the action, this would not happen till now.
Well, that's what the residents are saying. Proactive action was required from the BBMP. The residents here forcing the BBMP commissioner to step into the waters here, to come and take a look at what's happening in their houses. You can see him now walk with the residents, go now into the water. You can see just behind, I'm going to ask my video journalist to show you pictures of an elderly woman being brought from her house by the fire department officials. So this is how bad the condition of the roads are right now, and we'll really have to hope that all the agencies here who can help the people come together and do as much as they can as soon as possible to help the people, and more importantly, even after this situation, ensure that there is ample compensation that's provided for the damage and the losses that they've incurred.
The aftermath of the rains in Bengaluru has triggered a political war of words between the BJP and the Congress. Now, the Congress government is defending the way it handled the crisis, but also leaders of the Congress are also admitting that even they too got stuck due to the rains.
ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಎಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ 24 hours 48 hours ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 300% ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. 5 SDRF NDRF ಟೀಮು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಡೆಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
Time now for us to slip into a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news and updates. Stay with Times Now.